I'm Shona Curley with Red Kite Meditations, and this is a video about how to encourage lymphatic flow around your thyroid gland with a gentle stretch and a little bit of self-massage. So most people don't understand how very important lymphatic flow from the brain is to cognitive health and well-being, especially with Lyme disease. The thing is, especially if you have neuro-Lyme disease, the bacteria create some backup in the lymphatic drainage system of our brains, and that can lead to sluggish thinking and brain fog and headaches and all of those horrible neuro symptoms that we hate. So the lymph in your brain, it flows all the way through the brain and then it drains down the side of the neck where the fluid is redeposited back into your blood flow at your heart. And there's a million little lymph nodes down the sides of the neck where the lymph collects so that the white blood cells can kill viruses and bacteria and then get rid of the waste and proteins and molecules that build up. And the thyroid gland lives right about here. It's a beautiful butterfly-shaped gland that sort of wraps around your trachea right in the front here, and it governs metabolism. So, as everybody knows, thyroid metabolism can be thrown way off by Lyme disease and also by toxicity. So one of the ways to keep your thyroid really healthy is just to keep your lymph draining through your brain, down the sides of your neck, and back into your heart, and to clear up the blockages that inevitably accumulate, really whether or not you have Lyme disease. So these are really gentle, easy stretches. They are not probably going to change your hormone profile when you get your thyroid hormones tested, but they're just a real supportive way for you to encourage lymphatic flow. And they may help a little bit with headaches and brain fog. They actually do help me with that. So the first thing that you do is you actually sit up. Most of us sit around with our necks like this. And guess what? It's bad for your spine and it's not so great for your lymph either. So you want to have a sense of your chest gently lifting up, like there's a couple of fingers underneath your collarbone, lifting you toward the ceiling, elevating you, and lengthening your neck. There should be like a grapefruit or a cantaloupe-sized space between your chin and your chest if you're sitting without slouching your cervical vertebra. And that gives your thyroid room to chill. So even just changing your posture or being aware of your posture like that is actually really beneficial for lymphatic flow and thyroid health. So once you're sitting tall and your neck is nice and long, you can tilt your head just really, really gently to the side until you feel a stretch along the side of your neck on the opposite side through here. And if that's okay, then you can kind of roll your head backward the tiniest little bit, really gently, until you feel the stretch down the front side of your neck where the lymph nodes are along the side of the thyroid gland. And if you're tight, you're going to feel this stretch all the way up and maybe across your forehead and maybe even in your eye socket. It's a little ridiculous how tight we all get there. But I can feel it. I can feel it behind my ear. I can feel it on my forehead hanging out here. And then just bring your head back to neutral and squeeze it out. And maybe you heard that crack of my collarbone adjusting. That's a good thing as long as it doesn't hurt. And then try the other side. Gently tilt your head to one side until you feel a nice, easy stretch. I would not advocate for taking your hand and pushing your head over. I've thrown my neck vertebra out doing that. And then tilting slightly back, and this is my tighter side. Maybe you can see that. Sometimes on the tighter side, it's actually kind of harder to feel the stretch. So on my right side, I'm pressing my right shoulder down a little bit and just looking for that feeling of opening through the lymphatic drainage channels. And then coming back to neutral and taking your shoulders way up and dropping them. And you can do that any number of times. You can play with it a little bit as you go to the side. You can rotate and just look for where, like I just found a really good spot right here. You just look around. Everybody's a little different in terms of where that tension collects. It should feel good. The stretch shouldn't be too intense. I always say grade the stretch on a level of 1 through 10 and don't go past a 5 or 6. That way you know your body's not going to try to protect you from it. It'll just encourage fluid drainage and movement. So once you've given your neck a good stretch, it actually should be a little easier to sit tall. It should be a little easier to feel that space between your chin and your chest, and that home that you're making for your thyroid gland to be released and to flush toxicity through. And then if you want, you can add a little bit of self-massage where I take the sides of my hands and just gently draw them kind of down and forward across those bulky, somewhat tense muscles through here, through the side of the neck. So I'm doing something called cross-fibering. Those muscles, just pulling my hands across them. And then as you do that, you can try turning your head side to side. You can get all the way up under your jawbone, although it's a little tricky the higher up you go. And you can also go pretty low down. I mean, if you're human, you're going to feel those muscles get crazy tight. And just imagine as you're rubbing them that you're moving the fluid through. You can even, the lymph is also pretty close to the skin, so you can use gentle touch to just flush the lymphatic pathways afterward. And then kind of just shake it out down your arms. And then I like to just give my shoulders a couple of good rolls around afterward and look left to right to make sure you feel really free in your neck. And then take your lovely thyroid out for a fabulous day. Thank you for watching.